Well, today, Donald Trump backed down again. Donald Trump backed down again, and that came 24 hours after the last time Donald Trump backed down on the same subject, his illegal tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico. Once again today, Donald Trump's boss told him what to do, and he did it. Donald Trump's boss is, of course, the stock market. The crashing stock market yesterday, in effect, ordered Donald Trump to drop his illegal and economically illiterate tariff scheme against Canada and Mexico. And so Donald Trump dropped the stupidest part of his stupid idea yesterday, the tariffs on American cars that are actually manufactured largely in the United States, but in the course of their manufacture, they cross the borders of Canada and Mexico more than once before that finished car or truck ends up in your local showroom here in the United States. Donald Trump's illegal and irrational tariff scheme would have added $20,000 to the price of a Dodge Ram pickup truck. It would be the single biggest inflationary act ever committed knowingly by a president of the United States, raising prices by 25% by a Trump edict. It is an order, in effect, to raise prices. The stock market rightly panicked over that prospect, which includes predictions not just of a Trump recession, but in the Wall Street Journal, predictions of a Great Depression caused by Donald Trump's tariffs. The misguided tariff scheme pushed into law 100 years ago by Republican Senator Smoot and Republican Congressman Hawley, the Smoot-Hawley tariffs, were the proximate cause of America's Great Depression of the 1930s. Those tariffs were not President Herbert Hoover's idea, but he did sign them into law, and that went a long way to making him a one-term president driven out of office by the governor of New York, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who then led the country out of the Republican-created depression. With the stock market crashing again today, Donald Trump announced that what he lyingly called a pause of the implementation of some of his illegal tariffs against Canada and Mexico for 1 month, his standard pause period. That is the second month of pausing Donald Trump has done with his own disastrously bad idea. And when Donald Trump has an idea that he really believes in, like closing down all humanitarian assistance by the government of the United States anywhere in the world, he does it immediately. Take food out of the mouths of starving babies in the middle of a famine in Sudan. Donald Trump does that on the spot, no pause. Donald Trump has issued no pause in Elon Musk's complete destruction of the United States Agency for International Development, which, among other things, is the biggest feeder of starving babies in famine in the world. The biggest feeder of starving people of all ages in the world. There was no pause in what Elon Musk desperately wanted to do to those starving children, no pause at all, because Donald Trump and Elon Musk firmly believe that we must never feed the starving children of the world, never. And Donald Trump and Elon Musk don't even have to think about it. And they know that the stock market doesn't care about starving babies in Sudan or anywhere else on the planet. And so we know just how much Donald Trump does not pause, never pauses when he confidently launches into a Trump idea, no matter how cruel, vicious, and unprecedented that idea is, like taking HIV medication away from people whose lives depend on that. Elon Musk and Donald Trump did that without hesitation, without pause. So when Donald Trump pauses for 30 days, that's Donald Trump publicly confessing, this is such a bad idea, even I can't do it. In the middle of a stock market crash today, Donald Trump's Treasury Secretary appeared in the city that houses the stock market, a city where a dozen eggs now cost $10, and he said, and I quote, "I'm not worried about inflation." After the first Trump presidency, I thought it was going to be difficult to find a Treasury Secretary more ill-suited to the job than Donald Trump's first Treasury Secretary, but he's done it. He's done it again. With inflation up, with Donald Trump threatening the most inflationary tariffs in history, and with eggs going over $10 a dozen in the city where he was speaking today, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said, "I'm not worried about inflation." Imagine if Joe Biden's Treasury Secretary had ever said, under any circumstances, "I'm not worried about inflation," when eggs were half the price that they are today and less than that. Donald Trump's Treasury Secretary also said today in New York City, in a failed attempt to defend the Trump tariffs, quote, "Access to cheap goods is not the essence of the American dream." Again, imagine Joe Biden or any Biden administration official had ever said, low prices aren't a big deal. Who cares about low prices? That's what Donald Trump's ultra-rich Treasury Secretary said today in New York City. Meanwhile, in the Oval Office, Donald Trump proved once again that no one has the power to humiliate Donald Trump quite like Donald Trump.
Have you been influenced, some of these exemptions that have been announced and some of these temporary delays, have you been influeed in those decisions because of the market reaction?
Well, there are no delays at all. No, nothing to do with the market. I'm not even looking at the market.
I'm not even looking at the market. Donald Trump said that. Donald Trump, the president most obsessed with the stock market in presidential history, tells you the lie right to your face. I'm not even looking at the market. The market is Donald Trump's boss. If you watch the stock market during Donald Trump's tariff games, you know exactly what's going to happen next. Here's Donald Trump humiliating today's Donald Trump, who told the lie, "I'm not even looking at the market."
So I won the election. The markets went up thousands of points. Things started happening. You started doing things that you would have never, even though I didn't get sworn in until January 20th. But they refused to do that. And let me tell you, if for some reason I wouldn't have won the election, these markets would have crashed.
And here's Donald Trump 3 weeks ago, humiliating Donald Trump today.
I think the stock market's going to be great. In other words, we will rapidly grow our economy by dramatically shrinking the federal government, and we have to do it.
Yeah, he doesn't care about the market. In an editorial today, the Wall Street Journal picked up on a point that I made here last night in some detail, that the Trump tariffs are, in fact, illegal. The Journal notes that Donald Trump is invoking the 1977 International Emergency Powers Act to justify his tariffs on Canada. But the Journal points out there is nothing happening with Canada that meets the legal definition of an emergency, and there is nothing in that law that specifically authorizes the president to impose tariffs in that kind of emergency. The Wall Street Journal notes presidents have used the law to freeze assets of foreign governments and nationals, restrict U.S. companies from doing business with them, limit export of technologies, and ban imports from adversaries. In March 2022, President Biden used the law to ban imports of Russian energy, seafood, and alcoholic beverages, but notably not to impose tariffs. The Wall Street Journal editorial notes that the Trump tariffs against Canada could not survive a legal challenge. There is pre-existing law governing trade among the United States and Canada, and the United States and Mexico. It is the rewritten version of the North American Free Trade Agreement that Donald Trump himself and his team negotiated and signed with Prime Minister Trudeau during the first Trump presidency and with the president of Mexico, which Donald Trump then called the greatest trade deal in history.
For the first time in American history, we have replaced a disastrous trade deal that rewarded outsourcing with a truly fair and reciprocal trade deal that will keep jobs, wealth, and growth right here in America. And in a true sense, it's also a partnership with Mexico and Canada and ourselves against the world. It's really a trade partnership, if you look at it that way. And it's a day of great celebration in all three countries.
So the president who claims to have negotiated the greatest trade deal in history now believes that is a terrible trade deal. And he alone has decided to violate his own trade deal himself.